Good morning, everyone. I thought that was never going to start up then. It's a bit echoey in here, but I am here in my yoga studio. It's Beks Thompson from Be a Beacon on Bribie Island. And this morning, we are live talking a little bit more expansively about the body and about pain in the body. Now, as most of you know, I was trained as a physio over 24 years ago now. And when I trained as a physio, we didn't know anything about this word fascia, or myofascia to be more precise. We knew about some fascia in the brain, but we didn't really understand myofascia in the body and its complex role. And so as a physio, we would very much treat the hamstrings, we'd treat the back, we'd treat the biceps, yeah? Everything was divided up. Ligaments, muscles, tendons, joints, bones, right? But the fact of the matter is that we are not made up of these individual muscles, aspects and systems. And so if we continue to treat ourselves that way and treat the biceps and treat the hamstrings and treat this and treat that, treat anxiety, treat depression, yeah, it goes into the emotional state as well, then we are not doing ourselves the best service. And I found this out pretty quickly on in my career as a physio when I was getting frustrated around why people weren't necessarily always getting better. Now today we're primarily still going to talk about the physical, although we know that there's so much more than that. But one of the things that has been discovered really probably over the last 10 or 15 years in a much more deeper way is this role of myofascia and the idea, the concept that our body is not made up of these individual units, but that we are this organism that has grown and diversified. Yeah, think of it that way. We started off as a cell in this beautiful kind of soup of DNA and goodness and stuff, yeah? Just like that beautiful fertilizer and awesome soil that you plant your seed in. And we have grown and diversified through that, and everything stems from this one soup. And we are still all interconnected. We didn't kind of grow and go, pop, there's my hamstrings, pop, there's my eyes, pop, there's this, pop, there's that. We're all connected. And the myofascia is one of the biggest links, if you like, through our body. And it is made up of two types of substances. One, a more fibrous web-like system that runs through our whole body and interconnects all these different muscles and ligaments, who in themselves are still very much interconnected. Think of everything blending into each other, just like if you had all pencil drawings, yeah, different colours, but like these here, there's no defined edges, there's no defined lines, there's no defined stop, start, it all really merges into one. So if we are talking about one part of our body, we're talking about the whole body, right? Now the other part of the fascia system is a little bit more gluey, it's a little bit more liquid. But what happens when there's tension or stuck areas in these parts of the body? So I can have a stuck, tight part on the arch of my foot, and this could be giving me headaches behind my eye, because this is the other end, or the primary end, of that fascia strand, yeah? A tightness in the back of my shoulder blades could be giving me some sensation in my fingers, yeah, some tingling or some pain, or it could be giving me discomfort in my buttock. It's very much around an exploration of your own body, yeah, rather than going, I have to now just stretch this one part. And the other thing is, have a look at this. If I am sitting prolonged in this slump position, for example, the muscle and the fascia here start to thicken. Why? Because they're under an element of stress. And because sustained stress over longer periods of time sends a message to the body saying, I need more support here. So we're bundling down, laying down more fibers in those areas. What happens then is that you are making a much harder bridge between your cells that are providing oxygen, blood, nutrition, that are the ones taking away waste. The bridge between that and the cells in your fibers is much thicker, much harder to get across. So So you are not getting as much nutrition into that body, you are not getting as much waste release, you are not feeding that area with as much oxygen, and this is where disease starts. So if you think fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, everywhere from that to cancer, you are not getting nutrition and flow and oxygen into that part of the body. So why are we talking about this? Because so often we talk about different parts of the body, and why yoga is so amazing, and the way that I work, bringing in the physical and the emotional, and the mental aspects, is because you are not just that one part of your body. And with yoga, it teaches us to learn that all parts of us are interconnected. If you think about some of the interesting poses we get into, some of the poses you might know if you don't do yoga are like down dog, or I haven't got the camera set up very well to show that today, but different poses where we're using all different parts of our body. This helps us to engage and tension the fascia systems, because it is only through sustained stretch or strengthening of different parts of the body that we can start to restore natural flexibility, natural thickness, natural length to the body. And when that happens, we get a lot more flow through the body. This means healing. All right. Now, the other thing that yoga gets us to do, it's not just that we're combining movements, but we are bringing attention into the body, in different parts of the body. So you may have rounded shoulders, but your main problem may be plantar fasciitis, a pain in the plantar fascia. And if you go and see a physio that just addresses this, or just addresses your foot, then you're not necessarily going to get anywhere. You may need to address this to deal with your foot, and if no one's looking at that area because you're going with foot pain, then you may not get the relief that you want. And everybody is different, because our fascia is all interconnected. So your points of tension are going to be different probably to some other people's points of tension, but you may have present with the same pain. So just let that sink in a moment, because we can get very caught up in our pain and where we think it's from, and that it's unfixable. And doctors are some of the worst for saying you've got this, that and the other, and putting you in a box if you can't fix this. But I'm here to tell you that particularly over the last 10, 15 years of the way I have changed how I work, I reckon pretty much anything is fixable. That the amount of awareness and intention and focus that you can bring to your body, that you can bring to yourself, that is the game changer. That is the game changer. And this understanding of the myofascia, working with yoga, which brings you so much more ability to stay present with your body and more sensitivity to work out what you can feel in your body, that is the game changer. And the other thing that yoga brings in is obviously the breath. Now, if we're talking about myofascia and this interlinked fascial system, the diaphragm is one of the primary muscular and fascia systems in the whole body, and it cuts you in two. So if there is one thing that you need to focus on to get release of pain and discomfort and to move fascia in any part of your body, is to focus on that part of your body with your awareness, and then to focus equally on your breath. Because as you breathe, your diaphragm is moving up and down, up and down. And everything that is in the top half of your body has to be connected to your diaphragm in order to go to the bottom part of your body. There are connections the whole way through, and the diaphragm is the common element. This is one of the reasons why yoga is so incredibly powerful, and breath awareness is so incredibly powerful. So if you have pain in your body, I invite you to take loving awareness to that part of your body. And if you did nothing else, to breathe and really focus very deeply on the breath, as well as on that area, and see if you can get that gentle release. Because you are just working a little bit distant to that area, but sometimes that is the best thing. So I know that this has probably been a little bit of a big download. I hope that's giving you some kind of understanding as to this interconnectedness of the fascia, and why whole body movements and these kind of real combination movements are so important, so that we can focus on feeling the whole body and not just one tight area, and why that's important. So the other thing that you may often feel when you've had a really great yoga session or a bodywork session, or some of you that have worked with me, is that you get a bit of a release. You get a bit of a release, and that might not feel so great, or it might feel very emotional. And the reasons for this is that when you start to really release your body, you are releasing into your bloodstream all those metabolites, all those yucky substances that have got stuck in that thick, tight tissue, or in that glue that's not very liquid. And when that gets released, your liver has to process that, and that can make you feel a little bit yucky. And often emotion can come up in that. Now that's a whole new conversation of quantum physics that goes on in the body. We're dealing with a little bit more kind of like Newtonian physics, but there is an element in the quantum world of energy moving and emotion that releases too, which is another hugely powerful part, and the reason for the way that I work is so powerful is that we also incorporate all of that. But you don't need to know that right now. Everything is working in that field anyway without you knowing. The crucial part is to feel your whole body, is to really focus on your breath, not to get caught up and attached to one area of pain or discomfort in your body. Yeah? And to breathe and to master this ability to focus, to bring more presence and more attention into your body, because that is what is going to release your pain. Yeah, whatever it is, emotional or physical pain. It all comes back to presence at the end of the day. So if you have questions around it, this is a big, big subject that I just wanted to touch on today, because I've been playing with it more and more and more as I go deeper into my own practice and deeper into working with clients. And it is so incredibly powerful that I wanted to share a bit of that with you today. So if you are a little intrigued and you want to know more, then please reach out. You can either put a message down here below or private message me, Beks Thompson, and we can have a discovery session around this, because I offer free 20-minute phone call discovery sessions to see whether there's a way that I can help you bridge this gap between pain and ease, feeling stuck, having more freedom, feeling lackluster, and having more joy in your life. That's what I specialise in, and we do it in an extremely holistic way. So if you are feeling stuck and you haven't found someone that can really look at all aspects of your body, your mind, your emotion, then reach out and let's have a conversation. I'd love to speak to you. So have a great week, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.